Hey, how's it going? Here's my pedalboard suitcase. I needed a way to transport my RC-300, a tube screamer, and maybe a few more other pedals to gigs, to live shows. I really wanted a hard case for transport, and I really wanted another level above my RC-300 to put some pedals, especially my tube screamer. It's my meat and potatoes. So here's how I built the whole thing for under 30 bucks. So this is what I had to put on a pedalboard and put in a hard case. My Boss RC-300, my Ibanez tube screamer, which is my main effects pedal, and a power strip. I took a few simple measurements. I measured the width of the RC-300 with the Ibanez next to it, and just the depth of the RC-300, just to get a kind of an idea of what kind of size of a piece of plywood I was going to need for the pedal board. I figured that my width for everything was going to be about 25 inches. I went to Goodwill and I found a suitcase for $3.99. It was perfect. It was right at 25 inches and plenty deep. So this was going to be the housing to hold my pedal board. The first thing I had to do was take an X-Acto knife and cut out all the interior and vacuum out all the debris that was in there. I then laid the suitcase down on a $7 piece of particle board and traced out the outline of the suitcase. Then I took a jigsaw and I cut the shape of the bottom of the suitcase out. The top and the bottom were exactly the same. I kept trimming with the jigsaw until I got that little piece of plywood to lay in the bottom of the suitcase just right. I had to make a couple of alterations with the little wheels in the way, so I ended up cutting the corner there until I got that piece of plywood to just fit in there snug. Since the RC-300 took the entire width of the piece of plywood and the suitcase, I needed my pedals to be up a little higher, so I went and got some scrap wood out of the shed, and I just kind of laid it out like I think it would need to be to have some pedals up higher to reach. I have that center block of wood around the MIDI inputs, which I do not use, so I just kind of pieced it together. So with the scrap blocks of wood and the piece of board going across the top, I just screwed through the bottom to secure it to my baseboard. I went ahead and set the board into the luggage to make sure everything was a fit, and it was. Here I laid the tube screamer on top of the board. I'm having to do the tube screamer sideways because that's all the scrap wood I had. My next step was to paint it all black. I got some dollar store spray paint, hung it up on a piece of string, and just sprayed and sprayed and let it dry, sprayed and let it dry until the whole can of spray paint was gone. I went back to Goodwill and I found some old bed mattress foam padding. I got a whole garbage bag full of this padding for like $6 or $7. So far I'm only in this project for the piece of plywood, which was about $6 or $7. This big fat zip ties were about $7. And the padding was about $7. Oh yeah, and the 99-cent can of spray paint. My initial thought was to glue the padding to the interior of the suitcase to provide padding so nothing would move around. I went ahead and put down the first 2 layers. I put a little weight on the padding to let the Gorilla Glue dry. So now I've got padding on the top and the bottom. My original idea was to just stack this stuff until it completely filled all the void and packed my pedals in there tightly. Back to the pedal board. I started drilling holes where I needed the zip ties to go around the RC-300. I picked spots on the RC-300 where there was no buttons or pedals. Again, heavy duty zip ties on the tube screamer. I can't have this sucker move. I stomp on it quite a bit. Alright, so here she is. This is the basic layout. The tube screamer's in a great spot for me to reach when I'm playing. I'm really a minimalist when it comes to playing. I really just enjoy my tube screamer, especially when I have all this going on with the RC-300. I do plan to get a tuner and maybe a couple other pedals though. Well, all this stuff needs power, so I went ahead and drilled and zip tied in a power strip and plugged everything in and drilled some holes on the side and put some rope just so I'd have a handle to pull it out of the suitcase. And this is kind of what we're ending up with. Now, one thing I wanted to do to reduce setup time was I wanted to plug everything in. So I've got all the power cables plugged in. I actually have my guitar cable plugged into this tube screamer. Tube screamer's plugged into the RC-300. The 2 outputs that go to the mains and to the guitar amp is right there as well. So when I open up the case and take out the pedal board, all I got to do is just plug into the speakers and stuff. So I'm done. I don't have to keep unplugging out of the RC-300 or the tube screamer and keep wearing out my jacks over and over and over again. Well, I've got the foam glue to the bottom, the foam glue to the top. I was going to do layers, but then I decided, hey, why don't I just grab a pillow? It saved me a lot of glue and a lot of time. So I just stuff a $3 pillow on the top. Still got this project in really cheap, under 30 bucks, and man, I think it's going to work out. Everything in one big box. I just close it up and bam, there you go. Thanks a lot for watching. Comment below, let me know what you think, and let me know if you've made one of these suitcase pedal boards. If you got any good ideas or tips for upgrades, let me know that too. Catch you later.